Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, your host, here with my co-host and co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We are coming to you from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. And we have a very fun, very different kind of show lined up for you. It's a conversation we've never really touched on in our 2+ years of doing this show. And so it's actually kind of fun for me because it's not my normal... well, I would say my layer of expertise, but that's very limited as well. But we're talking about destination weddings.
Right. Yeah.
And not just destination wedding locations, although we will get into what are the most popular locations and everything, but just kind of the whole
Industry?
I don't know. Yeah, the industry of it all. And
Right.
it is.
Yeah.
I mean, if you pop the question to your beloved and you decide, hey, we're going to do a wedding away from our hometown, away from where we normally live. And now we're going to invite guests and family and everything. It affects everyone because people have to travel. People have to plan well in advance sometimes. And then there's legalities to it, which we'll get into that people. And we've not only done our research about the industry itself, but also we've scoured the internet for fun stories where people have kind of had some mishaps.
Which is where this whole topic came from, because I've been seeing, my day job is in the event world, and I have been seeing more and more stories pop up of people talking about being guests at destination weddings, how much money they have to spend to go to a destination wedding, different things that happen because of the locale. And it just got me thinking, this is become a really big thing. I feel like it's growing every year. And you found a really interesting statistic that 1 in 4 U.S. weddings is now a destination wedding.
Yeah.
That's shocking to me.
You know, we always knew that destination weddings were a thing. They've always been a thing. But I think the steady rate of which it's grown now, my personal feelings, just looking at the facts and figures we've looked at, right? So the price of just a quote unquote normal wedding in your hometown has grown to such a price tag with a lot of traditional families that it's almost the price tag of doing, having the ceremony somewhere spectacular.
Right.
So people are kind of opting for, I want the beautiful backdrop.
Right. Yeah.
You start factoring in the Instagram and the YouTube worlds, and all of a sudden people want content.
Well, do you think that's what it
well.
is? Do you think it's less about the celebration of getting married and more about social media content?
You can tell. I think you could tell pretty quickly with some people. And this is you had to keep this kind of PC, right? You can tell with some couples that this is it was never going to be like, we're going to go to the chapel down the street and just celebrate our love. It is going to be a production.
Right. Yes, that is true. That is true.
Because it's not only the location, it's the location, the backdrop. We're also, for some reason, we have drone footage. We're flying. The ring bearer is an actual drone,
Or a dove with the ring in its mouth.
Or a falcon they flew in from Montana. Like it actually flew in from Montana. It's like, but yeah, I mean, you're right. Weddings have kind of morphed into this personal branding event. You can tell, you can look at people's Pinterest boards and they kind of masquerade as
Do you look at a lot of people's wedding Pinterest boards?
I do. I'm like, oh, is that what it's supposed to be? But yeah, I mean, destination weddings. I mean, if you think back just a few decades ago, a lot of times that meant eloping in Vegas.
Right.
And in fact, we have some very close friends, actually 2 sets of friends that got married in Vegas. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that was kind of the definition. If you weren't uber rich, that was the destination most people had in mind. We're going to get married by Elvis. Right. It's going to be this whole thing.
About 15 years ago, somebody I worked with, her and her fiance came to Vegas to get married. They only invited their parents and their siblings to be here, but they picked a chapel that live streamed, and they sent the link out to everyone they know. They're like, we would love for you to be part of our day to watch it on a live stream.
Yeah.
But they only wanted their family. So they weren't expecting people to come along. But I think that has kind of shifted with a lot of people.
That's actually pretty accurate because my friend Trey and his beautiful blushing bride, Patty, they got married not too long ago out here, and we were a part of the wedding. Mm-hmm. But there was a package, and they got married at the little Vegas, little Vegas chapel with our friends over there. We've done multiple shows with them and interviews and stuff, and they had a package that had a live stream option. You could live stream that to your friends and family around the world if they couldn't make it to Vegas. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that's very much a thing. But I think more people are like, we want you to be there. Let me ask you before we get too much into this, have you ever been to a destination wedding?
Other than Trey and Patty's wedding here that we went to, so we didn't have to travel. Yeah. No, I've never been to one. However, I don't know if you remember the first time you and I went to Hawaii, the hotel we were staying at, when we arrived, we walked straight out to the beach and there was a wedding happening on the grass right there.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the first time I'd ever seen a destination wedding. And it was very small. There was the wedding party and maybe 10 guests.
Yeah, and we were almost a part of it. I mean, we were just feet away from them.
Yes.
And we were like, oh, and like I'm in like flip-flops with my ugly feet hanging out and everything. But yeah, Kaanapali Beach, I think we were at.
Yeah.
And I think in our travels, we've come across a lot of weddings that you could tell are destination weddings. And yes, I know you can look and kind of tell from a distance they're destination weddings. But let me give you a little quote here. The average destination wedding now costs $35,000 plus for the couple and at least $1,500 to $4,000 for the guest to attend.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that touches on. We're going to get into this just a little bit later in the show, but I think
$35,000. I don't think. Well, I feel like it's excessive for a wedding, but it's kind of a wedding and a honeymoon all in one. So maybe it's not so crazy.
That's kind of what I was going back to with the the traditional cost of now weddings. If you're going to spend $60,000 in your hometown, if you could go to one of the destinations we'll talk about in a little bit, Tulum, and have the same wedding, I think a lot of people are opting for the travel.
That's true.
And I believe one point of contrition, anyway, is with people that have to attend or feel that they have to attend. If you're family or something like that. Now, all of a sudden, it used to be you would get a gift for the bride and the groom to help them start their journey. Now, they're like, we don't want your gift. Well, actually, we do want your gift, and it better be nice. But we also want you to be there, which is going to cost flights and hotels and everything else. And also, we need, here's a link if you just want to donate to our wedding fund.
This blows my mind now that couples are charging people to attend their weddings.
Basically,
I've seen invitations posted that have a per head amount that you have to pay if you're going to go to the reception.
Because they want you to pay for food.
Yes, they want to cover the cost of their food. I've seen other couples who post their gift list, and they have categories, and you have to spend a minimum amount to come to their wedding.
What?
And the higher the category, it's almost like buying VIP tickets to an event. The higher the category of the gift, the closer you get to sit at the wedding.
Are you serious?
Yes, this is a thing now.
I think it's cheaper to get new friends. I think I would have to just downgrade my friends and just be like, I'm sorry, you've priced me out.
Is there anybody worth doing that for?
Not anymore. Keep it right here. We got a lot coming up. Cultural train wrecks, all kinds of stuff. It's an Unscaled Travel Show, Wedding Destinations.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy along here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
Coming to you from beautiful Sin City, Las Vegas, in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. Remember, for all of our past episodes, all of our past interviews, check us out, unscaledtravelshow.com. Even check out our growing YouTube channel. I think we got 100 people on there, but you could be 101.
You could be.
You could be. You'll win a prize. My love. That's what you could win. We're talking about destination weddings and kind of not only cutting through like the awe of that and the envy. Right. You see other people doing it and you kind of envy that. But also kind of getting to the brass tacks of like what it actually costs. And, we're going to talk about some of the more popular destinations in the world that remain popular for good reason. These are all beautiful places, but there's some other stuff that goes with it. And you found a really interesting thing when we were chatting.
I did. And this is just for U.S.-based couples.
Yeah.
But this is from researchandmarkets.com. They do a lot of reports every year. And it says that the destination wedding market is expected to grow from 36 billion with a B in 2024 to $47 billion in 2025. This is a high ticket industry.
That is something.
As we were saying, 1 in 4 weddings in the U.S. is now a destination wedding. So where are these people going?
The top locations for destination weddings in the United States, anyway.
So if you want to stay in the States.
If you want to stay in the continental United States, Florida, California, and like we said, Las Vegas.
Yes, I can see that. 2
places with very beautiful beaches. And then here in Sin City, I mean, it's just fun and it's Elvis and it's kind of...
It's a lot of options.
We've had a lot of celebrities get married here. Brittany got married for like 44 hours here and all kinds of
There's
stuff.
There's a drive-through wedding chapel.
There literally is a drive-through wedding chapel.
You can get married by Elvis. You can get married by a showgirl. You can get married by anyone.
Name a person. An alien, Darth Vader, can do your wedding.
We even went to a place where you can get married in a grow house.
Yeah, if you like cannabis.
If you're a
fan.
You can get married on the top of the Strat, I believe. Yeah. Like you can get married anywhere in this city.
The top locations for destination weddings outside of the continental U.S. Are the Caribbean, Mexico, and Hawaii. If you're in the North America landscape, so the Caribbean, Mexico. Again, these all have a central theme, like beautiful beaches, things like that. Okay. Yeah. So that's the fantasy that we're looking at. Sipping champagne on a cliffside or on a beach. Your dress is billowing just right. The tux fits. The string quartet that you flew in or something like that is playing Nickelback or whatever people play at wedding. What do people play? Is Nickelback? Is Nickelback still a good option?
Not Nickelback, but okay.
No, oops. I meant Adele.
Maybe Adele. Maybe
but Nickelback.
Some Bruno Mars, just the way you are. What was that song?
I was going to say Eminem.
Was it Train that had that Marry Me song like 15 years ago, and everyone that year had this song playing in their wedding?
Oh my gosh. Train. Destinations. That's right. That's what we're talking about. Tulum, Mexico is one of the, as far as weddings being booked and everything, that's what we're going for. Tulum, Mexico is one of the top destinations, not only in North America, but the entire world.
Really?
Why? What we were just talking about. Gorgeous beaches, boutique hotels, the jungle. They have cenotes, the underwater underground water place. There you go. I can't say that. And it's Instagram. It is just beautiful stuff. We've been to Tulum.
We have. I mean, Tulum's a lovely place to go anyway, but I can see the appeal of wanting to get married there. I think the reality of getting married there is it is a very humid location. Most wedding dresses are very heavy and there's a lot of layers. So you might not look as fresh as a daisy in your photos.
You're going to look like you've had a night. Why? And also the area. I mean, most of it's beach clubs by day, mezcal fueled rehearsal dinners by night. So
the best kind, though.
Yeah, that's a good. I think that's a fun wedding party. But you're thinking about getting everyone to one destination to celebrate your special moment.
Yeah.
It might be hard for people who like to go to places and really tie one on.
Well, and the thing I remember about Tulum, the roads weren't great. And I think probably if you're not staying at the place the wedding is, you may have some difficulty getting there. Because do you remember we drove from Riviera Maya, which is halfway between Cancun and Tulum, to Tulum, and the highway was completely under construction, and it took us forever to get down this 2-lane road.
Yeah.
We were kind of stuck there because they were working on the road, and we're just sitting in this little car in the heat.
We scoured the internet. We wanted to see what other people's mishaps have been for Tulum. And Reddit is a gold mine for these kind of stories, right? One Redditor said that their friend's wedding was delayed because the officiant got stuck behind a street protest over ecotourism damage. Now, how ironic is that?
Right.
They couldn't get the person there, right? Another story from a wedding planner. A guest mistook a cenote for a plunge pool and jumped into a school of very territorial fish and ended up with some kind of wounds that they had to navigate into their wedding.
And I have to say, cenotes look really cool, but I am afraid of that kind of thing. Like, who's gone and checked it out and made sure it's safe to jump into? Because when you're driving, there's just little signs on the side of the road, like wooden signs. It says cenote and an arrow, and you're just supposed to trust some random wooden sign. Like, hey, go jump in this hole in the ground.
Cenotes are just dinosaur pools. Dinosaur pools.
And how do you get out? I don't understand, because it's...
Well, you use your arm and your legs.
Well, some of them are pretty deep. So do they have ladders on? I don't know. I personally haven't done it because I'm scared.
The ones that have sprung for signs, wooden signs, they usually have ladders.
You think they have a ladder? You're going to trust the ladder and a wooden sign with that? You're in another country and you're going to trust a wooden sign and a ladder that someone has created and attached to the side of a rock.
Look, Tulum, we went to the ruins and we had a lot of fun. I could see myself more falling into a cenote because they just seem to be everywhere there. That's the leftover impact from the meteor that crashed and killed the dinosaurs off of the Yucatan Peninsula. So, I could see it happening, but I could also see, that would be not a good thing to do.
Right.
Before a wedding.
Be careful before jumping into a cenote, people. That's all I'm saying.
Listen more for Amy's tips and tricks about destination weddings right here on Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello. We
are talking all about destination weddings, the ins and outs of this really global industry. Mm-hmm. What'd you say earlier? Like $40-something billion
It's expected
annually?
to exceed $47 billion this year.
And chances are, at least one time in your life, you're going to get that little postcard, that little save the date in the mail, and it's going to be for someone's destination wedding somewhere. And the thought process goes like this: oh, so and so is getting married. Oh my God, so happy for them. And then you're going to look at the date and go, I think I'm free there. And then the destination, and you're going to be like, oh, do I really like this person that much to travel?
To not only travel, to take your vacation time off of
Yes.
work. So you're then like, okay, it's a vacation and it's a wedding. And then you're trying to reason, like, how much of my vacation am I comfortable giving up for this wedding?
Yeah.
So I did find another statistic. It says guests of destination weddings spend on average 3 nights at the destination locale.
Makes sense.
However, the farther they have to go, the longer they tend to stay. So for a U.S. wedding, if you're, maybe you live in, I don't know, Tennessee, and you're going down to Florida, people might stay three nights. But if you're sending people to Europe, they might stay 6 nights because they've taken the time off work. They're investing in a flight to another country. They're going to make the most out of it. Your wedding is just one little thing they're now doing on a vacation.
Between airfare, hotel, meals, attire, excursions, because it's not only just getting married. It's like, oh, we're going to go zip line over a volcano or something. And like, unfortunately for most females, there's like bachelorette parties that you are expected, especially if you're in the party, you're expected to be a part of. The average guest may drop between, I think I said this earlier, $1,500 and $4,000. Average. Now that could vary wildly.
Right.
Now you can do like Vegas. We've talked about Vegas a number of times. You can do Vegas pretty cheap. You can also do Vegas very, very expensively.
You can.
So there are...
And some couples who are getting married at a destination place will choose to pay some of their guest travel cost or even the wedding party. They'll cover the wedding party's travel cost. But it's estimated only about half of couples cover any of their guest travel costs. They are fully expecting you to like them enough to fly somewhere to watch them get married. Something they could do at home for a lot cheaper.
I can do it.
Something that you
on
only
YouTube.
Something you only have to give up an afternoon or an evening for, and you're now getting on a plane to go watch somewhere else.
Oh man, and like I said, we've scoured the internet and gone to wonderful places like Reddit, and read that like there are countless stories of
I love Reddit,
people,
by the way.
people that are even in the wedding parties, people that were served as best man or the bridesmaid or whatever, and they were like, I was so peeved off by all of this that after the wedding, we don't even speak anymore.
That's a big...
We're not even friends anymore.
That is a big thing that people get so financially taken advantage of for their friends' weddings that they are no longer friends with these people.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, it's a real thing. I mean, because it's not just the people who show up. Okay. A lot of these people are honestly financially traumatized from this thing. You're talking about giving up vacation days and things like that. Some people don't even have the vacation days to give up. They're calling in all kinds of favors, sick and everything else, because like my best friend is wanted to get married in Siberia. And now I have to make my way to Siberia and get married. Here's a very quick story. It's very tragic in its quickness. I flew to Thailand, got food poisoning, missed the ceremony, cried in a tuk-tuk. That was the entire story. But you know how much went into that. It is just horrible. Wow. So when people are putting together, and I know it's like, it's love and it's a celebration of your love and everything else, but all the people that need to be involved in your special day, some of them are going through it.
Right.
And they have...
Right. This is true.
Sometimes you just can't forget it and you can't get it out of your mind.
You're expecting a lot of people to ask them to travel to watch you get married. And I know some people are very understanding when a guest RSVPs no, but a lot of people aren't. And there are plenty of other stories on Reddit where people have been kind of disowned from their friend because they said, I'm sorry, I don't have the money to go to a destination wedding. Yeah. Especially some of these weddings, like the one we were reading about in Tuscany, where it was at a vineyard, and they were expected to stay at an Airbnb or something pretty close by, but it was very expensive. I mean, these people were needing to take out a loan to go to this wedding, and they had to tell their friend, I'm sorry, I just can't do this. And the friends basically said, we are no longer friends with you.
Yeah.
Don't ever contact us again.
Cutting people off because you feel slighted that people can't, keep up with the financial costs. And speaking of that, guest regret is a growing trend, a hugely growing trend. And it's not for what you're thinking. It's not for regretting that you went. It's not for going. It's for saying yes
in the first place.
Yeah, I regret saying yes. I regret RSVPing and saying that I'm going to be here on your special day because it has destroyed my finances. Because people, just put it on a credit card.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's like you said, you get that invitation in the mail, you have all these immediate thoughts, and you're like, yes, of course I'll be there, because you're not really thinking through everything that goes along with it.
We got one time for someone that I consider pretty close to family, and it was a minor inconvenience, and I was like, I don't.
You just tossed that sucker in the trash?
Never got it. Unscaled Travel Show, Wedding Destinations. Keep it right here.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We are in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios, talking all about destination weddings. And I know we've kind of gone in a little bit. I know it sounds like I'm against them. I'm not. I think people should get married wherever you want to get married.
Yeah.
Celebrate your whatever, love. I don't know.
If we were going to get married again now, I would totally do a destination wedding.
I
don't know I'd invite anybody, just like me and you go somewhere, like maybe more elope.
I want to go back to charging people like VIP access. What would you charge somebody to sit front row at what kind of gift level would it need to be?
Well, I mean, the one I saw, the top level was like a $1,700 gift.
Yeah. What was that? What's a $1,700
It had gifts
gift?
in that category, like acceptable gifts in that category. And if you wanted it, I remember it said if you wanted to get anything that was not on the list, that bride and groom had to approve it first. Meaning they would reject your gift.
Bro, I tell you right now, you got me one of those. They have an all-in-one. It's an egg and toast and bacon cooker. You get me one of them, and I think they're like $60 on Amazon. You could be my best man. You replace that horrible guy I had to begin with, who's actually still my friend, but I'm going to move him back because I don't think he actually got us anything. So, like, I'm going to get one of those or a PlayStation 5. You got me a PlayStation 5. We'll be best friends forever. Yeah. That's kind of interesting. So also with these destination weddings come a lot of legalities that people don't realize. We were talking about very popular destinations like Tulum and just navigating the roads and just dealing with things. Like I know Mexico has a provision for people that are getting married legally in Mexico. Okay. That the bride and the groom, weeks before the ceremony, they have to have a blood test.
Oh,
Each of them do. Otherwise, your marriage isn't legal.
interesting.
They do that to look at blood types and make sure diseases, things like that. So, like if you don't do it, it's not legal, right?
Yeah, I've always wondered about destination weddings, especially ones that are in other countries. Like, I assume you get your marriage license here in the U.S., But do you still get one there? And then do you turn around and file it back here? Like, is it filed in both places? I have questions.
Only if it's a legal ceremony. So like even in Las Vegas, you can have a ceremony for anything, and people often do. In fact, our friends at the Little Vegas Chapel tell us all the time that people do fun ceremonies that aren't legal in any kind of way, right?
So like if you wanted to go to your local courthouse and just have an actual legal wedding and then have a wedding party in another country.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's often the safest way, especially like say Australia or United States, wherever our listeners are. Most people will get legally married there. Just a ceremony. You fill out the paperwork and everything. So I'm married in, say, our friends there in Hay, Australia. You know, I'm married in Hay, Australia, but we're going to have the destination wedding somewhere else. It's just for looks.
You know what? You just reminded me of another story on Reddit. I read about that exact thing happening, but they did not tell any of their guests that they had actually been married for a year. And so they had all the guests, big, huge wedding, travel from the U.S. to Europe. They're there at the wedding. And then once the ceremony is over, they announce to everyone, surprise, it's actually our first anniversary. And their guests were not happy because it had cost them so much money to fly to Europe and be there. Because this was one of these big, giant, elaborate things where people were spending $8,000 to $10,000.
I don't know if you remember this, but we have friends who did the same thing.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had friends who, before we lived in Vegas, got married in Vegas almost a year before they had the ceremony back in Texas where we lived at the time. And people were, I don't want to say they were upset, but they were very confused by the whole thing. So why are we here?
That's exactly what
attitude.
People were saying for this wedding was like, we spent all this money to come here to celebrate you getting married, and you've been married for a year. They felt deceived.
So one of the more popular destinations in the world to get married, speaking of Tulum a little while ago, Greece, Santorini, okay? To legally marry in Greece, though, all of your documents must be translated to Greek, notarized, and sent weeks in advance of a ceremony. Many couples opt for a symbolic wedding there and sign the real paperwork at the county courthouse back home. There is... again, Reddit is a beautiful place, right? This couple said, we got married in Santorini. We didn't know we weren't legally married until a year later when we tried to get a mortgage together, and we hadn't filled out any of the paperwork, so no one recognized that we had to get married all over again in the United States because we didn't do basic
I guess they didn't have a wedding planner, because I would think that would be... the wedding planner's job is to figure this stuff out for you. Another
popular destination is Tuscany in Italy. Gorgeous. We've been there. We've driven around on all kinds of places, right? But in Italy, you must complete a civil wedding in Italy first. Same as here. You go to a town hall or whatever. Religious or symbolic ceremonies in a vineyard aren't legally binding unless you tackle the bureaucracy. There you go.
So if you want to get married in a vineyard, you have to fly from Vegas to Italy, get married civilly in the city, and then go out and have a different wedding in the vineyard.
You got to fill out the paperwork, people.
Wow.
It's all paperwork.
Wow.
Another one finally in Bali. One of, again, a hugely popular destination wedding location, Bali. To legally marry in Bali, both partners must share the same religion and participate in a religious ceremony approved by the government.
Really?
It's not so simple as saying I do on the beach, right? And let me tell you something about Bali. We're going to get to this in just a minute. But the ceremonies in Bali, if you want a traditional one, they aren't quicker like here in the U.S. These things can last for hours, because you have to go through all of the ceremonies.
Interesting.
And if you don't do it, it's not legally recognized by the government.
Okay.
I'm telling you, hours. That'll give you some time to think about, do I really want to marry this person? Probably not. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We are in Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. We're discussing destination weddings, just the cost, the trauma, and also, you know, the popular destinations that are out there. Tulum, Tuscany, Bali, some other places, Greece, you know, and there's a lot more. But with everything involved, and we've mentioned it a few times now, everything comes with a cost. Mm-hmm. And I think in today's society, and I don't want to be old man yelling at clouds here, but it all seems to be, there's almost exponentially involved because people now see other people's destination weddings, or they see celebrity weddings.
Yes.
Now, we are people of a certain age, and so most of us remember the big one, right? It was Charles and Diana.
Oh, yeah.
And that was in 1981. I don't want to put dates on things, but that was in 1981. And it was a huge, extravagant thing.
Yeah. The estimated cost is $48 million for the wedding, which is still, I believe, the most expensive wedding for British royalty ever.
What would that be in today's money?
I have no idea.
It's got to be like $100 and something, like $120 million.
Oh, it actually says right here, it would be an average of $164 million today with inflation.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it was the wedding of the century, right?
Yeah.
They had over 3,000 guests in attendance, which I didn't even realize that church held 3,000 people. I think maybe they were including the people standing outside because, you know, the streets were lined. But then it says another 750 million people watched it on TV.
So think about that. Okay, you had Charles and Diana. About a decade or so ago, you had William and Kate. And then just a couple of years ago, you had Harry and Meghan.
Yep.
And how many people, especially celebrities and royalty and just people from dignitaries from all over the world, came and descended to England to watch
So
this.
maybe for the couple, it wasn't a destination wedding, but for a lot of their guests, it was because they had to fly in for this thing, which I think is another aspect to this, that when you are having a wedding in your hometown, but you're inviting family and friends and colleagues from other places, it's still an expense for them to come share in your special moment.
Yeah. And it can get into this is my friend and I'm going to eat this cost because it's their special day, to the absolutely ridiculous costs. I mean, because I think celebrities are the blueprint for today's, Instagram wedding expectations.
And a lot of these weddings aren't just a one-day affair. They're multiple days, weeks. Some weddings, they have events for months leading up to the wedding. It's just fascinating to me that people do this.
So we think about, like Nick Jonas and his wife, Priyanka Chopra.
Which, aren't they separated now?
Yeah, didn't even last. Okay. But they had a 5-day multi-faith ceremony across multiple continents. Okay. And it was all Instagrammed and Facebooked. And is it MySpace? I don't know. I don't know.
How old are you?
Old. I'm so old. So tired. But even then, like Italian villa weddings can cost well over $100,000. You're talking about, you have to go to the town hall first and get legally married there. But then you actually have the Italian villa wedding that everyone dreams about, and blah, blah, blah. Well, that villa belongs to someone, and that someone wants money. They don't care that it's your special day. They want to get paid.
Right. Yeah.
So let's look real quick at some of the most expensive weddings, modern weddings, on record right now. And I think you have the list.
I do.
Over here. You want to start from five up?
From 5? Sure.
Okay.
So number 5, and I don't know how to say her name, Queen Letizia and King Philippe of Spain.
Oh.
Their wedding cost $25 million at the time, which was 2004. It says for today's cost, it would be $41 million. This wedding, though,
royalty.
This wedding took place at a cathedral.
Uh-huh.
It does not say that this was a multi-day event. So $41 million on just a ceremony in a cathedral in Spain.
So when I see bringing it all back into guests get preferential seating depending on the
You're
the type of
fascinated
gift.
by
I am
this.
fascinated because I feel like I got gypped. But when I saw at Harry and Meghan's wedding a few years ago, where like David Beckham and people were like that were like almost front row, like family. What did they have to give?
Diamonds.
Diamonds?
Something.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend, that kind of thing, or like a diamond encrusted diamonds.
I have no idea.
Jeez, all right. What's
It wasn't a microwave, I can tell you that.
It wasn't that microwave.
It was not a Lowe's gift card for $50, which I will admit proudly I have given multiple couples for weddings a Lowe's gift card.
This is why we don't get invited to weddings. All right, who's number 4?
Number 4 is Prince William and Kate.
Okay.
Their wedding in 2011 cost $34 million, and in today's price would be $48 million.
Okay. At least they're still together. They gave us some royal heirs. He's the future king of England. Okay.
Right.
Okay, I can see that. All right. Number 3.
Number 3, we're back to Charles and Diana.
Okay.
They are number 3. The next 2, it starts to blow your mind. I don't know how to say their names.
Let's see.
But
okay. Amit Bhatia.
Bhatia.
Yeah. Amit Bhatia and Venetia Mattel.
So they got married in 2004. And it says
Amit, probably.
Amit.
Yeah.
In 2004, cost around $5 million. Now, that price would be $99 million.
Venetia Mattel was also the daughter of steel tycoon Lakshmi Mittal. So we're talking billionaire status, probably.
But it does say that they had an engagement ceremony, which was held at the Palace of Versailles.
Wow.
And then their wedding ceremony was held at another 17th century castle outside of Paris.
Now I'm just reading it because I'm curious. It says more than 1,000 high-profile guests were flown in on private jets. So they footed the bill. So it's not, there's a difference between a wedding party of like you flying me in and me having to fly myself in.
I agree.
Okay. I can kind of get behind this.
But do you see who their exclusive performer was for their reception?
Kylie Minogue. I would die. Okay. What's number 1?
Number 1. This just happened last year in 2024.
Okay.
This wedding cost $600 million.
Wow.
But let me say, it was not just a wedding. The celebration started in January and went several months, including a European cruise with concerts by the Backstreet Boys and Katy Perry.
Wow. What? I can't even fathom this.
It's not even a wedding. It's an event at this point.
Radhika Merchant, $600 million. You know what? Hats off to him, man. Wow. And look at that. A private party with Justin Bieber as well. It's Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We are in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. Check us out, unscaledtravelshow.com. Check out our YouTube channel as well, Unscaled Travel Show. It really does sound like I'm down on destination weddings, and I'm really not. But you do have to ask you've picked out a destination. You've invited guests. Some of them have even RSVP'd. Okay. Everyone's bought their flights and everything like that. So, you have to play the game of, so are you even married at this point? Is it sacred or is it scenic? What are you doing this for? What are some of these scenarios that people often run into when dealing with? And nowadays, I think people are a little more sensitive to what they perceive as cultural appropriation, as just plain dress up.
Yeah.
And I think speaking as, just an American over here where we are, a lot of times maybe in Hawaii, when people don traditional Hawaiian attire for these ceremonies and don't have any idea of the meaning behind anything. So you can see why people would be upset about stuff.
We saw that when we went to Japan. There were a lot of people, because you can rent traditional clothing to wear for a day. And we saw a lot of people walking around in traditional Japanese clothing. And it does feel a little bit like you're playing dress up. So, imagine going there for your wedding and asking all your guests to also do this, and none of you have any idea what any of it even means.
Exactly. I mean, you go to Japan, you don full Shinto wedding attire, you take the pictures and everything, but you have zero consultation with the local clergy, with local people, and it just feels like people are playing dress up. You're playing pretend in the land, You
could always do traditional sumo attire. I mean, you, not me, you.
Wedding night, maybe. But what are we talking about? Couples will often ask for cultural ceremonies without understanding what they mean. Now you got me on.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Let's try to make a serious point. The Hawaiian blessing rituals, we were talking about that. Even things like in Morocco, the henna nights with, it's just for, at that point, just likes and views and those kind of pictures. But there are also moments such as we talked earlier about Greece and Greek culture. And again, we're people of a certain age, so you've probably seen the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding, right? They smash the plates and it's a very joyous occasion. But there are situations where plate smashing by people who are uninformed and think it's just smashing plates have actually caused injuries. And one situation where a guest of the wedding actually sued the bride and groom because they got hurt during the ceremony.
Interesting.
So you can see how if you're not culturally prepared for situations, you can end up in an example of, you can end up on the Unscaled Travel Show and us talking about you, kind of being a knucklehead about stuff like that.
I think a lot of things people, they see and they're like, oh, that's a fun idea. I want to do that at my wedding. And you have no concept of what goes into it, what you need to do to keep people safe, anything. And that's where disaster ensues, because a lot of times too, you either don't have a wedding planner or you've only hired them to do part of the wedding. So they're not really managing all the different aspects.
And if they themselves don't know the culture, if they're from outside of the region or whatever, they don't know some of this. They're just trying to make your day go off with as few hitches as possible. But if they don't understand it either, again, Reddit's a gold mine, right? There's a couple in Thailand from outside of Thailand who wanted their wedding in Thailand. They requested a monk-led blessing. And they didn't realize that monks can't touch women or participate in these marriage ceremonies.
And most of them have taken a vow of silence. So what exactly is a monk-led blessing?
And they got there, and the monk just sat there and didn't say anything, didn't do anything. And they thought it was a part of the ceremony and just sat there with them until like hour 2 rolled around. And then they started questioning things like, what's going on here? Well, then what's going on is you didn't do your homework.
Right. Yeah. Well, I've seen stories where people wanted to get married, again, in this tropical location, not understanding the wildlife in the area. I know I've been to Cancun several times for work, and one property I stayed at, when they took me to my room, they said, do not leave your patio doors open because the wildlife will come into your rooms. And there's stories of weddings where wildlife is running through the ceremony, disturbing everything, or running through the reception and like eating the food off the tables because you did not take into account
I
the
was
environment.
reading for this show, and it's in Bali, and Bali has a very close tie with our local monkey populations. There's an instance where the one of the bridesmaids had almost canceled the entire wedding because she got bit by a monkey during the ceremony. Like a monkey, I don't know what the category was. I don't know.
During the ceremony.
The monkey just ran up and bit her, or was she teasing the monkey?
There's no context.
Did they have a beef? I don't know what the context was.
Was she like provoking the monkey? Was she like, here, monkey? What was going on?
Was she flinching at the monkey? I don't know. But she made that monkey angry enough to bite her, and it almost caused a whole meltdown. So destination weddings can devolve into, I don't want to say nightmares, but they can devolve into some very challenging situations if you're not prepared for it.
I came across a website that a bride dedicated to her disastrous destination wedding a few years ago. She got married in 2015 in the Bahamas, had been planning her wedding for over a year at this lovely resort in the Bahamas. And at no point did the resort tell her that they planned construction on the resort and the property, like all of the property for the weeks leading up to and at her wedding. So when they arrive, it is a construction zone. The beautiful pool, the gardens, everywhere she had planned to get married was no longer there.
Oh, wow.
I mean, and what do? You're there. Everybody else is there. I feel like that's a little bit deceitful.
I feel like most people would probably jump to,
I want my money back.
I want my money back, and legalities and things like that. And then there are countries where there's nothing you can do. They're just going to carry on with life. And if you just happen to be here, that's on you, It
was so bad that the restaurants, the banquets team at the resort wasn't even open. So all the food she had ordered for her reception, they weren't even able to have food. They had to bring in outside food for the wedding.
Oh, see. Yeah.
And I feel like that's on, she got scammed.
Yeah, you got scammed.
And what do you do to mitigate that? Do you go to the resort a month out and make sure everything looks good? Okay, I just want to, I would, but I'm an event planner. That's the kind of thing I do.
Yeah.
You go in good faith when you sign a contract with the resort.
Yeah.
That they are going to uphold their end of the contract.
So, I have officiated a destination wedding before.
I forgot about that.
A couple of years ago, on a beach in San Diego. I think the groom, he served in our armed forces, and so they allowed him to have a ceremony on the beach at one of the bases there outside of San Diego. But there was a hiccup for a while, trying to get people onto an armed forces base, and all the legality there, the clearances you have to go through, and it delayed the wedding by a while. Trying to get like the mother of the bride on
I
the
forgot about that. Yeah. And again, like there should have been somebody running point on that. But if you don't know, if you're going to have a wedding and you don't know that you need a wedding planner, you're just assuming I can just show up and do this. So it might behoove you to get a planner.
Love that word. Love behooving. You always want to behoove. Well, we hope we haven't scared you off from your destination wedding. This is a resounding, thumbs up to destination weddings. Get out there. All we're saying is do your homework first. Okay.
Yeah.
And have fun with it. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We will see you guys next time.